Yo, what's up guys? Terrell here on Terrell Game Vlogs. You probably can't see me half the time because the light in the hallway isn't on and that light is not going to work. Let's go over here and look at the switch. The whole point is this video isn't really about any of that shit. I don't think I've washed my face today either. It's like 6 o'clock in the evening. Yep, light's not going to work. Fuck it. Let's go turn on the AC. Anyways, this video is about Medaka box. As you can obviously tell, turn this down. For Studio Para, because you're the biggest Medaka box fan I know on the internet. And for everyone else, I'm done. I finished the manga. Now, Para, I would have told you this before, but the thing is that I realized I don't have you added on my like personal Facebook page, so you didn't see it. But I actually started marathon reading Medaka box. I think. Like the last arc, I think the last video I made was the last part I stopped. I stopped at like Not Equal, the beginning of Not Equal arc, and I left it alone for, I think for a good 3 or 4 months. And then for some reason I was kind of like fuck it. And last weekend I decided to marathon between from the beginning of Not Equal to like I think I was somewhere around the mind fuck is where I stopped, and I made like a post about what chapter I was on. But by the end of that weekend, I had gotten all the way up until the end of the beginning, either the beginning or middle of the Shiranui arc. I think is where I stopped at like chapter 170, 160 something, 170. And then this weekend, actually meaning today, I decided to marathon the last 22 chapters, and I have finished the manga. So what this video simply is me talking about the manga. So if you do not want spoilers on the manga and you're an anime only watcher, I suggest getting the fuck out. Anyways, wait. I hear noise, and that's never a good sign. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna shut this door because I'm not in the mood to hear a whole bunch of yelling about it. And I'm gonna continue what I was saying. All right. So, first off, just overall thoughts on the ending, and then I'll kind of cover the arcs in general. Overall, I'm satisfied. I do have a few theories and certain things, because for those who've seen the as I said, spoilers, so if you're still watching this, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you. I have a feeling that Kikajima's baby is Kumagawa's, because there were subtle hints in the Not Equal arc in itself, and then the fact that her child's name means the best, I just find kind of funny. They don't know, and plus that they don't say who. She never says who the father is, nor does she say anything about who her husband is. No, she doesn't say. And then it's just a suspicion. I'm pretty sure Kikajima's like quote unquote husband is Kumagawa, because we don't see him. And then there's like this floating rumor about Ashin being not dead, which probably I actually think she might just be dead, because that's how Ashin likes to troll. I'm actually surprised how quickly she died. To be perfectly honest, to me, if she was gonna come back, I figured she would have come back in some overhacked way in the middle of an arc. I don't think she would have. They would have just left that ambiguous. I think she actually is just dead, because that's how Ishin rolls. Ishin doesn't have a problem killing characters. He's just very weird about it. And sometimes he likes to be an asshole and dick around and shit. Oh, and then I guess the whole Zenkichi Medaka thing at the end, which is pretty much for the most part how they ended. The only thing I'm going to say to that is that's about how Ishin would do it. Ishin wouldn't actually give me exactly what I wanted. He would just give me something that I would enjoy. Which is kind of the whole rule of Medaka box. Not necessarily something I wanted, but something I would enjoy. Because personally, I think he honestly could have ended the manga at the Not Equal if he really wanted to. Because all the extra shit that got brought up were things that were brought up from the Jet Black wedding arc and shit. There would have been maybe like 2 holes, which would have been the Tsurabami shit and the Shiranui shit. Which, to be perfectly honest, they didn't even need to really introduce Tsurabami in that fucking arc, because he doesn't really do anything. Tsurabami's importance is actually kind of weird. He's more important in terms of plot than he is as an actual character. Granted, he does have some validity. But for me personally, I felt like And then granted, I don't have anything against those last 2 arcs. I'm just saying, because the way he ends Not Equal, I'm just like, I would have been perfectly fine with that if he ended it there. But I know he wasn't going to, because I knew the manga was like another, fucking 30, 40 chapters after Not Equal. I'm not even sure when Not Equal ends. I know 170 was where you were in the Shiranui shit, so I'm pretty sure Not Equal was probably like 30, 40 chapters. But that's besides the point. I'm rambling now. But in terms of how that ended the series, that's what to be perfectly honest, as I said, after Not Equal, one of the main things I was looking forward to was just seeing Zenkichi and Medaka together. And they trolled the shit out of that. They trolled the shit out of that through the last 2 arcs. Especially at the end. They trolled that shit with Medaka like 4 fucking times. Because you had the, oh, I gotta do the first they had the, oh, she almost died, she fucking died, and then came back, and then they didn't really explain it. Well, no, they explained it, but it's Medaka boss. The way they explain shit sometimes, it's so fucking ridiculous out there. At a certain point, you're kind of like, alright, fine, fuck it. They did the shit about her dying, then the whole shit with the moon, then her coming back from the moon, then her leaving the academy, then her coming back to the academy, and then like them not seeing each other for like 10 years. And I was just kind of like, okay, fine, I get it. It's not gonna work the way I want it to, even though this is anime. I mean, that was the whole thing. In a sense, that's what Medaka Box is. The whole point of Medaka Box is to just fucking break a lot of the commonplace rules in shonen, which is probably part of the reason why it isn't as popular as it probably could be. To me, Medaka Box is really good in quality, but it's one of those series that it's really hard to just straight out enjoy as much as, say, Naruto or Bleach. I mean, granted, I do enjoy Medaka Box. It's probably one of my favorite shonens. I don't know if I say top. I probably would say maybe top. I know it's in top 10. I'm not sure if I put it in top 5. The problem with Medaka Box to me personally was just the fact that it's really good in what it's conveying. It's just it may not be the most entertaining way. Especially the one thing I will say I fucking hate is how ridiculous they got with these fucking complex ass card games. No, not even card games, just games in general. I think it was the Not Equal arc is what brings it up. And it's just like a fuck ton of games with all these ridiculous rules and shit. And logically you're supposed to be able to follow that. And granted, I understand, it's not like I couldn't follow it, but it's like, this is Shonen Jump. There's a difference between having a lot of dialogue for world bending, wow, my brain cut off for a minute. For world development, that's not even the word, world bending? Not world bending, I don't even fucking know what I was going to say. There's a difference between having a lot of dialogue in terms of, you know, developing the world versus having a lot of dialogue to explain a game that only really matters to like a portion of an arc. And he does that shit like 6 or 7 times in the course of like 2 arcs? 2 or 3 arcs? No, it's only 2 because it's Not Equal and then Jet Black Wedding, because he doesn't do it in Shiranui shit, which I was so fucking happy about. I was like, God damn it. Why is it you randomly want to throw in like 4 or 5 card games in like 2 arcs? God damn it. I don't know why that just shit wasn't. I think the first one with Kumagawa helping out the what's the name? The successors, when he's fighting the chick with the ailments and shit. That one I like. Then they kept going with that fucking ridiculous one with the whole, you know, what's it called? I feel bad I forgot the name of it because I just read it. The something panty party. I don't even remember. My brain is fried. I'm literally recording this like about 5 minutes after finishing it. The no panty party? No, it was like, oh, fuck. The flash panty party? I don't even fucking know. My brain hurts. This is a statement Medaka about to put you in. But I guess I should just go ahead and cover the arcs in general, because I think I talked about all of Minus for the most part, and then all we have left is Not Equal, Jet Black Wedding, and Shiranui. Not Equal, hands down, is favorite arc for a few reasons. For one, I do like the 5 successors. I don't remember all their names. Like Wanazuka is one of them, which is Akune's. I feel like the Not Equal arc worked to develop a lot of characters, and it didn't really do anything for Medaka as a character by herself. Well, let me put it this way. The mindfuck with Zenkichi that proceeds into how the arc ends is the thing that helps Medaka. And I will say, personally, I really did enjoy that. I thought that was ridiculous. I actually did like fucking stop. I stopped looking at the page for a second. I dropped the mouse and I was like, what? What? Like, oh, it is such a ridiculous mindfuck that you don't just catch that. You don't catch that every fucking reference they were making to Shonen Jump heroes, Kumagawa's included, was all leading up to the fact that I don't even want to say it. Because I know people are gonna watch this knowing there's spoilers in here. That's what bothers me more than anything, because I think it's one of the few plot twists, I swear to God, I feel like should never be spoiled. I feel like it's one of those things that I'd rather you just read straight, because you won't see that coming. You won't see it coming. That's why I'm so hesitant to say it. I said spoilers, but I know people who don't read Medaka Box will still look at this video and read the spoilers, and I kind of don't want them to do that, because it is a really good plot twist. I'll just say this. That plot twist and that whole thing with Zenkichi is probably one of the best iterations of a male character falling in love with a female character, or just a character in general. Because if for those who don't realize, and I think Studio Paradise said this before, Medaka Box for the most part is a satire of shonen. Like that's what it does. Kumagawa is like a perfect example, and the thing with Zenkichi, because the fact that you have a female lead instead of a male lead in Medaka Box is in itself satire, because we all know in Shonen Jump series, most of the time the main character is a overpowered guy, and the girl is the one fawning over him. But even when they reverse it, they have Zenkichi become his own character because of the fact that Zenkichi, I mean, obviously, when you look at the beginning of the series, you're like, okay, Zenkichi wants to get Medaka to recognize him. And then afterwards, he'll be happy. And they'll be together, and they'll be this fucking stereotypical shonen shit. But, in the next 2 arcs, I think, yeah, in the next, actually, at the end of this arc, and then, like, the next few arcs, he rejects her, like, 2 or 3 times. And it's because, and this is the one that I really like about Zenkichi's character, just because she recognizes him as a romantic interest doesn't necessarily mean that he's gonna be like, well, fuck it, we get married now because I did what I wanted. His achievement, that was not his main, that was his goal, but that was not his only goal. The thing is just because you get a girl to recognize you, and I even like the little message they gave at the end of the night arc, the fact that the moment he stopped trying to follow her and decided to start becoming his own person is the moment she fell in love with him. Which is actually a really good moral. That you shouldn't have to fucking, you shouldn't have to become strong. I mean the whole mind, even part of the mind fucking, I'm going to spoil part of it. Well, Ashin's like, oh, you know, Shonen Jump fucking promotes like the worst things anyway. You know, if you're strong, you have a lot of friends. If you're strong, you get the girl of your dreams. If you're physically strong, you get, you get everything you want when you're strong. That's technically the message a lot of Shonen Jump mangas portray. And Kumagawa's, and I love Kumagawa for this shit too, his little mindset that Zenkichi represents the normal guy. Kumagawa represents the guy who doesn't try. like you have your normal dude and you have your lazy dude. Fucking Kumagawa is the lazy dude. He's the guy who represents the guy who doesn't try. Which is probably why Kumagawa is so liked, because he doesn't represent just the underdog. He represents the underdog under the dog. Like, he represents the underdog's underdog. That's the way Kumagawa works. And because he represents the essence of weakness, whereas Zenkichi just represents normalcy. That's what Zenkichi represents. So I understand why Kumagawa gets the love he does, and he is fucking enjoyable. Now, I mean, I can see why they have that little thing where it's like, you can decide whether a chapter is good if Kumagawa's in it, because Kumagawa's like devil's advocate. He's an asshole. I'm not gonna spoil, and he's that character who never wins, but he's like the coolest loser. That doesn't make any sense, but Kumagawa is like he's such a well-written character. I will say that. to me, you know, considering how much Medaka got on my nerves originally, I will say some of my favorite parts of Medaka are after the Not Equal arc. I enjoyed. I like her new character. I like her. Well, see, I like her. See, it's not technically her latest character design. It's just the character design that we used for the last 2 arcs up until like the last few pages. Like she doesn't. They both change their. The character designs change again because of that little thing that happens at the end. The time skip thing. Which kind of sucks because I actually do like her with short hair. I don't know why. I think that's right now. That's my Facebook profile picture. I don't know why. I just really like that. I like her like that outfit. That shit looks cute as fuck to me. I mean, honestly, some of my favorite Medaka moments, ironically, are all the moments where she acts like a girl. Which I guess would make sense because as much as she's called a monster and some type of OP ass motherfucker, at the end of the day, the whole point of Medaka's existence is to prove that she is a girl. Just a teenage girl. She could be broken in like 18 different ways. She could have all this mental and communication problems. And that's the other thing I like. I like the little power-up system they did with the whole normal, special, abnormal, minus, not equal, in the style users, the word style users and shit. Because they're all different groups of people. Kind of like how there are different social classes of people. And the whole point, by the end of the Medaka box, she's cool with every one of those types of people. That was the point. I mean, granted, that's more stereotypical shonen shit. But the whole idea is that no matter where the fuck you come from doesn't mean we can't understand each other. And I like how each of them represent different styles. You know, that a normal can get along with a special. A normal can get along with an abnormal. Abnormals are just normal people who have an extraordinary skill or geared in an extraordinary way. I even like the shit at the end where you find out like the majority of those characters have lost those abilities. Because those abilities aren't things that are meant to... They're a part of their characters, but they only really serve a purpose. They don't need to be around the entirety of their lives. I mean, the fact that they exist at all was broken as fuck. I also find it funny that he was able to make an ability as broken as the ability to make anything into nothing manageable in a series. But then again, Medaka Box has proven that you can take the most unrealistic shit and make it manageable. I don't understand how the fuck, even reading it's just ridiculous to me. I'll probably use the thumbnail art. The thumbnail for this video will probably be the Blu-ray DVD cover for the English dub that comes out in like 2 months, which I'll link in the bottom for the pre-order. I know they're dubbing the first 2 seasons. I actually would like to see the adaptation for the rest of the series, especially the Not Equal arc. I feel like the Midas arc is good in its own right. I like the Midas arc, but if you want to talk to me about my favorite arcs to my least favorite arcs, now granted this is off the top of the dome, so I could easily change this in the future. I want to see. The thing is, I like the abnormal arc, and I like the Midas arc. If I had to say, Not Equal is probably my favorite just because it did develop the characters. I will say that out of the original student council, I think Kihajima is the one who got the least amount of development, but at the same time, she kind of doesn't need it. I really like the development they put on Nakune, which caught me off guard because I was like, oh, I thought the name was going to be irrelevant. So the shit they gave him in Not Equal, I really enjoyed, but I want to say Not Equal is probably my favorite. Not Equal is probably my favorite. From there, I would argue somewhere between Minus, Abnormal, and Jet Black Wedding, but I'm probably more geared to say Abnormal arc, and then probably Minus arc, Minus or Jet Black Wedding. See, Medaka arcs, it's like the same problem I have with One Piece arcs. They're all good arcs. I mean, we obviously know which one I would put at the bottom, which would be the original arc. Like the first arc, I don't really like that much. Everything else, though, was really good to me, but I don't have an inherently favorite arc. I think I have my inherent favorite is Not Equal, but the middle ground is what kills me. It's kind of the same thing with One Piece. Like, I think Thriller Bark is probably one of my favorite arcs. Probably my favorite arc, honestly. My least favorite is probably, I don't even know, but I'm getting off topic. The whole point is, I enjoyed it. Jet Black Wedding, like Jet Black Wedding. I don't really know what to say about it because it's so short and it ends in such an anticlimactic way. Like, the way Jet Black Wedding sounds, I figured it would be a bigger arc. I actually thought I thought Jet Black Wedding was the last arc. I didn't even know about the Shiranui arc. It's I think the best thing about that arc is the fact that the whole point of that arc is honestly just to get Medaka to realize that she likes Zenkichi. Like, I think that's the thing. Like, I think she hasn't accepted that she's in love with Zenkichi. Like, and which kind of confuses me because the end of Not Equal, she says I love you, and then like the next arc, she's just kind of like different, and I'm like, well, what the fuck happened? The Muke stuff I liked in that arc. The fights were fun, and I did like how Medaka mind-fucked what's her name, Mozuzu Chan at the end. That shit was ridiculous. That was gold. I got up for that one. I was like, that was, you did that girl dirty. And then the Shiranui arc, I think I just liked because Shiranui was one of those characters we never really got enough time with. So taking the time to have an arc devoted to her, I actually enjoyed. I also enjoyed how Kumagawa mind-fucked her. Where he like trolled her. He's like, you're just trying to get me to use my fucking what was it, like his, what was it, the Devil Eater or the All Eater ability to change his ability to bring back Zenkichi, and Kumagawa just walks away not giving a fuck, and even prevents her from like being able to use the ability when she wanted to, and him just not giving a and then breaking Shiranui down, and then threatening her, and then you just see Zenkichi come out, and you're just like Kumagawa. Also, the phone gag he had during that arc was ridiculous. Every time we get to a very pivotal moment, he's like, ring, ring, ring. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I gotta take this. Carry on with what you were doing. He's like, hello? Hey, just, the Darker Box overall, just, it's insanity incarnate. It will break a lot of the things you think about Shonen and make you look at it in a different light, which kind of disappoints you when you see Shonen and follow the same cliches over and over again. But the fact that Medaka Box exists means that it gets better. So yeah, this is probably within my top. I know this is in my top 10. I don't know if I put it in my top 5. It might be in my top 5 in terms of Shonen. But that's all I got to say. I need to go lay down for a minute. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys later. Well, that's the game. No. Vlog's the game from your boy Terrell. Peace.